In this video, I'm going to show you how we solve the clothing brand sales problem, and I'm going to show you how to use hyper-targeted ads and retargeting campaigns to scale your brand to 100K per month. So I'm Nathaniel Wickfield, I'm the founder of Now Media, and I spent close to $250,000 on ads for e-commerce businesses, and I've partnered with over 10 clothing brands in the US. And this is something I can promise you've never seen before because I quite literally built this system completely from the ground up. I spent the past 3 years building it, and I've wasted tens of thousands of dollars testing, and I'm gonna give this away to you for free. So right now I'm about to pull back the curtains and give everything away that we do for our clients for free, so you can go ahead and try it yourself to never have unprofitable ads and can actually be able to scale your brand to $100,000 per month and reach your goals. And this isn't a sales pitch. This is real value to show you that I deliver on my promises. So by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly how to run hyper-targeted ads with engaging creatives and retargeting campaigns to instantly start getting more sales and be able to scale your clothing brand to $100,000 per month. And I know that you're busy and I know that your time is valuable. So if I waste your time here, I will quite literally send you $100 if you email this email right here. And just so we don't waste time, this video is only for clothing brand owners currently doing 10K plus per month who want to scale and invest in their business. So if you ever boosted a post on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok, you've actually ended up burning money that could have gone towards actual campaigns. The reason why is because you can't control at all who is going to see your boosted posts, so they end up getting shown to people with low purchasing intent. And if you tried running ads yourself or you've hired someone to run them for you and you didn't see any success, the reason why is because you or whoever ran them didn't follow these core principles that I'm going to show you in this video. And we check these for each of our clients before running any of their ad campaigns to make sure that they're running profitably. And you're probably thinking that it's impossible to make $50,000 to $100,000 per month without having to waste a bunch of money on marketing agencies and have really low profit margins. Well, most people think the exact same thing until they see how it all works and why we run our campaigns differently. So before I show you all the value that I initially promised you, I just want you to understand that scaling your brand is possible without having to deal with any of that. So you may be wondering, well, Nathaniel, why do I need to care about ads, right? Well, you're one of two people. Either you're currently trying to run ads yourself, or you've hired someone to run them for you, and you're struggling to build out profitable ad campaigns, or you aren't running any ads at all, and you're relying on organic engagement to drive sales, and you aren't seeing the results you want. And the reason why is because organic engagement is extremely unpredictable. And this is because you're relying on the algorithm to bring you sales each month. So one month, the algorithm may be in your favor and you may get loads of views. The next month, you may get none. They may shadow ban your account. So it's just really unpredictable. And when scaling your brand, you want to stay clear from that. It's okay to post it on the side, but as your main form of revenue, it's not the best thing to do. So now to prove this works, so you keep watching the rest of our video, we have some case studies here. So the Hoop Gang, we helped them scale from 12 grand to 63 grand per month. And before we started working with them, they were using giveaways and just relying on organic marketing in order to bring sales. And the problem with that was when you run giveaways, the people that enter the giveaway have really low purchasing intent because they may enter just to win something for free. They really have no intent to actually buy your products. So we implemented our hyper-targeted ad strategy, and we targeted right down to that target customer and right down to the people who are actually going to spend money. So then they started seeing profitability within the ad campaigns, and that's how we helped them scale to $63,000 a month. The next brand is Louvre that we worked with. We went from 10 grand to 41 grand per month. So before we started working with them, they were working with a marketing agency and they were just running extremely basic ads that didn't stand out. And how do you expect to get sales if you look like everyone else, right? So we just helped them with their creatives because they already knew slightly what they were doing. We just helped them with their creatives. Then we used our hyper-targeted ad strategy and our retargeting campaigns in order to just make sure that their ads were getting shown to the right people and the right people were getting shown it multiple times. So if they didn't make a purchase the first time, they would make it the second time they see the ad, right? And one of the other companies we worked with is called Lyric Threads, and we generated them over $100,000 in sales within a 3-month period. And before we started working with them, they were using organic marketing. So we're just relying on the algorithm to get sales, and they weren't hitting their goals. So before we started working with them, they were just doing around 10 grand a month from organic marketing. And we implemented our hyper-targeted ad strategy and our hyper-targeting. We implemented our hyper-targeted ad strategy and our retargeting campaigns. And we also just made sure we tracked all of that to bring them results like this, as you can see here. $100,000, over $100,000 within 3 months. And that's just to name a few out of the countless brands that we've worked with. So this presentation, ladies and gentlemen, is how we solve the clothing brand sales problem. Like, I'm sure you know someone who believes running ads doesn't work. They swear they only bring clicks from people that won't actually check out. The truth is that ads do work, in case you think that they don't. But ads are simply a tool to bring eyeballs. Who those eyeballs are from is what really matters. Now, to dive into how we're getting some of the best ad results in the industry, these are 3 things that we do differently. The first is within the ads themselves. So step 1 is hyper targeting. You need to narrow down directly to your target customer, and here's why. Most people and agencies run cookie cutter broad ads just to get a ton of clicks, but they don't convert. So your ad may get shown to someone from a completely different niche who isn't interested in your product at all, and maybe they just happen to click on the ad. But the problem with this is they're not going to check out. There's no point running ads for clicks or views. We run ads to bring sales. So if your ads aren't converting, most likely it's your audience, right? So that's one of the brands that we worked with before we started working with them, their conversion rate was 0.85%. Then as soon as we started working with them, we used our hyper targeted ad strategy. We only showed their ads to people whose fashion preferences lined up with their brand and who were likely to make a purchase. And we brought them conversion rates like this. As you can see here, we took them from 0.85% to 10.53% conversion rate. And the industry standard is around 3 to 5% conversion rate, and we actually managed to bring them to 10% conversion rate, nearly 11%, which is just incredible. So our next step is retargeting. So most people, they just run broad ads that potential customers may only view once. But our retargeting strategy ensures that your brand stays top of mind. So we use the Facebook pixel and we implement advanced retargeting. We segment your audiences based on their interactions with your brand. And we also create personalized experiences that drive conversions. So one impression is one view here, right? So one impression, that's one view of the ad. So the first question that we ask is, did they visit the site? So if they didn't visit the site, we're going to send them this retargeting ad 1. And this ad is just going to ensure that your brand stays top of mind, right? So then after that, we're going to ask another question. Did they visit the site? If they didn't visit the site, they're dead. We remove them from our audience. They're not our target customer. We don't want to keep marketing to them because it's just wasting money, right? So, but if they did visit the site, we're going to see, did they make a purchase, right? This also goes back to the first question. When they first viewed it, did they visit the site? If they did visit it, did they make a purchase, right? If they didn't make a purchase, we're going to send them this retargeting ad with a 10% off. So it'll be something like, oh, we saw you snooping around our site. Here's 10% off. And that just, if they had any doubts of whether they should buy now, but they liked your product or maybe the price was a problem, now with a 10% off, they're more inclined to buy, right? So we're going to ask them, did they make a purchase, right? If they didn't make a purchase, we're going to remove them from our audience because they're dead. No point marketing to them. We're just burning money, throwing it in the fire, right? But if they did make a purchase, we're going to offer them an upsell. And if they made a purchase here, the first time they view the site, we're also going to offer them an upsell. So offering an upsell is basically when you offer them another one of your products at a discount, and that's just to increase the average order value. So for every click, you're getting more sales, right? So yeah, so that's step 2, retargeting. And now let's move on to step 3. So step 3 is tracking. We've mastered tracking without any software, and that allows us to have accurate data flow and ensure that every click, view, and purchase is tracked. We also make sure your aggregated events are set up properly, and that just allows us to fine-tune the campaigns for performance and success. So we've adapted all of these to iOS 14 privacy changes, so that just ensures that our tracking stays effective no matter what Apple decides to throw at us, right? So as you can see by this chart here, we have the start. And so what we're going to do is we're going to set up aggregated events. So that's things like just setting up your aggregated events in Shopify and configuring those so we make sure we're getting the correct data. And then we also set up your conversion API. So we configure your CAPI in the Facebook Ad Manager. And we also integrate that to your Shopify store to ensure that everything can get tracked smoothly. So after that, we just implement that tracking, we test it, and then we optimize it, right? And we're just going to optimize this based on performance. So that's step 3. This just ensures that we make sure that all the ads are performing properly, and we're just making sure everything is tracked correctly, right? So if you're currently relying on other marketing agencies and you just aren't seeing the success you want, whether it's them over promising for you and under delivering, or whatever it may be. I just broke down exactly what we're doing to solve that problem. And this is just to give you realistic expectations of what you could see in terms of each step based on what we do, right? But you could totally do everything I just showed you on your own. However, the people that will see the most success with this system are people who are more experienced brand owners that may have ran ads in the past on TikTok, Facebook, or Instagram, and they just know how to run ads, right? But if you're new to ads, you might blow it here, and you might end up throwing a bunch of money in the fire, and we don't want that, do we? So if this sounds like you could hire us to do all of it for you. So, but I hope you found all this information I've given you valuable. I gave you the entire house without holding back. And this is everything that's taken me over 3 years to develop. And I wasted tens of thousands of dollars testing out the strategy. But everything I showed today was developed completely from scratch. So if you're confused about anything or want further clarification, I totally understand. And that's something that we can go over on our call. And I feel the type of person this is meant for, like I described above, who doesn't have any experience in ads and may just burn a bunch of money. You're already extremely busy, whether it's fulfilling orders or managing your brand or spending the little free time you have with friends and family. You really don't have an extra 3 hours per day to dedicate towards building out this entire system and looking like you aged 10 years in one, right? Because you're just pulling all your hair out because of the amount of stress that it brings with it, right? So if you want to see what it's like to have us implement this for you, if your life's too busy, it will just be too much work for you, just go ahead and book a call with me down below. We can go over everything we went over in this short video in more depth. So yeah, again, you have two options from here that can get you the results you've been looking for. So the first option, you can take all this information I've given you, you can try it for yourself, and you can invest time into learning, testing, and building out the system. Or option two, we can hop on a Zoom call and we can discuss how we can literally do all of this for you. So you only have to pick up your camera and press record. And best of all, we can guarantee that you will more than double your revenue within 2 months instead of spending tens of thousands of dollars and years replicating the strategy yourself. And it's also 1/5 of the price of a typical marketing agency. And there's zero ongoing service fees when you work with us. So it's just a one-time payment and we're done. We're going to keep working with you for the long run without eating into your profit margins, and you can keep the profitability high within your business. So all you have to do is just click the link below to chat with me and go over all the other details I wasn't able to go over in this video, and we can see if we'd be a good fit to work together. But I understand getting to 100 grand a month clothing brand is extremely hard. But what if I could solve the biggest problem that you're currently running into, which is getting you consistent sales? What would that do for you? I think it would change everything. So if you never want to worry about getting more sales, just like how my client Samir went from running a struggling clothing brand, barely doing 10 grand a month, just relying on organic marketing, word of mouth, and giveaways, to plugging in our system and consistently doing $100,000 months, the link is down below to book in with me, and I'm looking forward to it.